From the time the Tennessee Titans became the Tennessee Titans in 1999 to now, they've been decent. They made the Super Bowl their first season in a very, very sad loss. Their quarterback Steve McNair won MVP in 2003, which was a co-MVP, which is very stupid. Why would you do co-MVPs? And they've had some elite running backs with Eddie George, Chris Johnson, and right now Derrick Henry. Now, through their 24-year history, there's been something they have been awful at, or I guess technically they've been good at it because they've done it a lot, and that's ruining Hall of Fame wide receivers' careers. Today, we're going to be talking about the place that receivers' careers go to die. We're going to start off in chronological order, so we're going to start off with Randy Moss, and he needs no introduction. He was with Minnesota for the first 7 seasons of his career, and then he requested a trade to the Raiders. He was only there 2 seasons before he went to join the Patriots, where he helped them go 18-0 before losing in the Super Bowl, and up to 2010, his 4th season with the Pats, he was on the decline. The Patriots traded him back to the Vikings, and after 4 games, he didn't have a good time there, and he was released. 2 days later, the Titans signed Randy Moss, and his time there would cap off his dying career. Randy Moss was awful with the Titans. In just 8 games, he only had 6 catches with 80 yards and 0 touchdowns, and after this season, he would retire. However, he came out of retirement in 2012 and played with the Niners. Next up is Andre Johnson, and if you're younger like me, you probably know him best for this fight against, ironically, the Titans. Andre Johnson was drafted by the Texans in 2003, 3rd overall, and for the first 12 years of his career, he was the Texans. During his prime, he was arguably the best wide receiver in the NFL, but in 2013-2014, he was looking to pass the torch of the top wide receiver on the Texans to a guy named Deandre Hopkins. You might have heard of him. More on him later. 2014 was the last season for Andre Johnson with the Texans, and he had signed with the Colts for 2015, and he post career lows in 2015, and his career was dying. It was pretty much dead, but his career really died when he joined the Titans. In 2016 with the Titans, Andre Johnson would post career lows all over the board, 9 receptions, 85 yards, and 2 touchdowns in only 8 games. After this season, he would retire. Next is Julio Jones, and he's arguably the greatest Falcon of all time. In his prime, he was a top 3 receiver in the league, arguably the greatest, and he helped the Falcons make it to the Super Bowl 51. We all know what happened there. In 2020, Julio only played 9 games, and he just wasn't the same anymore. He wasn't that beast like back in the day, and the Falcons were looking to trade him. Julio was traded to Tennessee after A.J. Brown absolutely fanboyed over him all over TikTok, and while his career was already dying, it truly died here in Tennessee. In his first and last season with the Titans, Julio Jones posted career lows all over the board. In just 10 games, 31 catches for only 434 yards, and he didn't score a touchdown until the last week of the season. This last season, he played for the Bucs, where he didn't do good at all, and he posted a new career low for yards, and as of right now, he's not on a team. Real quick, let's talk about A.J. Brown. When he was with Tennessee, he wasn't bad, but he wasn't one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. But when he joined the Eagles, he immediately became a top 5 receiver in the NFL. Obviously, Robert Woods isn't a Hall of Famer, but this is still notable to talk about. During his time in the Rams, Robert Woods was one of the more underrated receivers in the NFL. During his 5 seasons there, he even had a few 1,000-yard seasons. Sadly for him, he tore his ACL midway through the 2021 season, and he wouldn't play for the Rams again. He was traded to the Titans in the 2022 offseason, and they killed his career. In a fully healthy season, he only recorded 527 yards and 2 touchdowns. The yards were a new career low, and he was released by the Titans. So as far as I know, that's all the receivers whose career has died on the Titans, and Treylon Burks needs to get out of Tennessee. Also, DeAndre Hopkins, please don't play for this team.